Well, hello, ladies. This is Jessica Broman from the Thrive Ladies Ministry at Central Baptist Church, doing our daily Facebook Live check-ins. I know it's a little later than normal, but my work schedule is different today. It's different every day, it seems. So I'll just wait for a few of you to hop on. It's another beautiful sunny day today, so I will be working this afternoon out on the back deck and enjoying this sunshine. I hope everybody is having a good day so far. Well, I will go ahead and jump into the lesson for today. It's on forgiving yourself. Kind of a hard topic for most of us as Christians. We are so, I don't want to say encouraged, but it's taught that we are to forgive others, forgive others, forgive others. It's kind of something that's in us. And as Christians, we also have to remember that forgiving ourselves is just as important. The verse I want to read out of today is 1 John 1:9. And it says, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. The confession, my study Bible says, that John writes about is an ongoing lifestyle of confession. Not just a one-time confession at the time of conversion, the time that we give ourselves to Christ. It's a lifestyle of confession. And when John is writing this, his audience had already been through the conversion. And so he is reminding them that if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive our sins because Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins. So, we have already received that grace and that forgiveness. If we continue to condemn ourselves, doesn't that defeat the purpose when we say that we have faith in Jesus Christ? Really think about that. If we have a hard time forgiving ourselves, doesn't that defeat our faith? Really, that's something to ponder because we all struggle with sin. I struggle with sin. You struggle with sin. And if we don't believe that, then we're only fooling ourselves. And that's the lie that the enemy wants us to believe, is justifying, well, that's not really a sin. That's not really so bad. But the truth is we all struggle with sin. And Romans 8:1 tells us, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Jesus Christ. So as believers, when we accept Jesus Christ, his blood has covered our sin. And we have now been given that grace and that forgiveness. So as Christians, we are now called to let go of what is holding us down so that we can move on and be who God created us to be. When we have sin in our life, unconfessed sin, it's heavy, isn't it? It's like we just keep getting weighted here and weighted here and weighted until we get lower and lower till we're so heavy. That's why John says it has to be a lifestyle of confession, not just a once happening. Just like forgiving others, we're not saying that our sin is okay. We're not justifying our sin. We're not saying that we have to forget it, but we have to forgive ourselves because we've already been forgiven. We are our own worst enemy. We are our own worst critic. And so it is very hard for us to forgive ourselves because we're carrying that regret. We are carrying the heaviness of how that sin made us feel. But ladies, we are not useful when we are weighed down with the burdens of our sin. We can't be those joyful, loving Christians that God has called us to be, that He wants to use when we are weighted down with sin. So what are we supposed to do? Well, we're supposed to confess our sins, make it a lifestyle like John has said. We have to forgive ourselves. We have to find a way to move on from the sins that are weighing us down. So we've got to pray and ask God to forgive us, and then we have to ask Him to help us to forgive ourselves. It may not happen overnight, and it may be that when you come to that point where that sin is in your face again, you say, God, I don't want to do this because I know how it makes me feel. You know, it's just like eating junk food. It makes us feel really good in the moment, but then afterwards we get belly aches and we get, just feeling like crud. I mean, quarantine probably, if anything, has helped us all get those feelings of like, well, I gotta take a shower and be a real person and go get some exercise. And so that's how it is with sin. It weighs us down and we all struggle with it. So we have to forgive ourselves. We don't have to forget what we've done. We don't have to justify it to say it's okay. But we have to be in that constant lifestyle of asking God for forgiveness, because once He has forgiven us, we can forgive ourselves. He has given us that grace that we are to extend to other people. And when we come to that place where we don't feel like we are deserving of that forgiveness, it's pride. And that's a sin in itself. We can't put ourselves above other people. We can't say that we forgive our neighbor, but we can't forgive ourselves. And that in itself is a sin of pride. And so my hope for you today, ladies, is that you can pray to God and ask Him to forgive you if you are harboring the sins of not being able to let go and forgive yourself. And I'll be praying for you for that for this week as well, because in order for us to be the women that God created us to be and to serve the purpose that He made us for, we have to be clean, we have to be useful, and we have to be able to forgive ourselves so that we can move forward and do the work that He has called us to do. He's created us for a purpose, and it's not to sit in regret, and it's not for us to sit defeated. That's where the enemy wants us. We are created for bigger and better things, and with God, that's going to be possible. So forgive yourself. It's okay. You're going to mess up again, and that's okay. That's why He has extended that grace and mercy and forgiveness to us. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. It was wonderful seeing all of you on here. Some ladies I haven't seen in a while. I miss you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.